Hello, amazing artists. Today we are going to use chalk pastel and a composition that of your choice. I am choosing to draw a rooster inspired by Clucky, our friend in the art room. So the first thing you're going to do is choose the still life that you want to use and decide what composition you're going to lay out on your page. I don't want to just place my chicken dead set in the center because that's boring. So I'm going to choose this part of my composition from the head and the tail, and I'm going to off-center it on the paper. So I'm going to draw my head of my rooster. Now when you're using the pencil, you don't have to be perfect on here because your pastels are going to cover it and you're going to explore new lines and creations from your pastels. So here is his body, his head, his plume, Clucky's plume, okay? And then his feathers. These are the plumes, actually, are going to come out this way. So there we go. I have my composition, and then I'm going to use my chalks. Now my chalks, some of them will be round, and some of them will be square, and some of them will be small and broken, and you can use all of these for different purposes, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is choose what colors I'm going to use, and I am not going to use the traditional colors of the rooster. I think I'll use some blue, and I think I'll use some green for my composition. So I'm going to start with the square end and just trace my outline of my chicken, okay? And then what you can do with these beautiful little pieces, you can use the side of your chalk to create a big space, okay? So there's my big space, and my finger, oh yeah, my finger is a tool in the art room. I can use it to blend, and you see that effect that it gives, okay? Then I can go right over that with some different colors, okay? So I'm adding some textures by using some lines with the tip of my chalk like this. And then I can put some light, because the light is coming from the top, over this dark. And then I can even do some white for some light there. Oh yeah, okay? So I can do the same thing. I'm going to use the side of my chalk and follow. And if I don't stay in my lines, oh well, oops, who cares? Mistakes make great creations, don't they? So here we go. I'm using my pink. I'm going to use some white on the top of this, and then I can rub it in, okay? Now, one thing about the dust, you're going to get dusty using chalk. Of course, dust and chalk are best friends, aren't they? So do not put your finger to push it off of the paper, because then you're going to smear your masterpiece. So what you want to do is lightly whisper blow. And then that way it'll leave your composition. If I have some dust around here, I'm just going to work around it. I'm an artist, that's okay. Remember, we don't want the dust to smear on our composition, so I'm better off leaving it on my page and not blowing it off and making some lines I don't want to. If you do that, it's okay, because you can make that part of your background. So that's, oops, I can make that part of my background later. So I'm making Clucky, and maybe I can use these big plumes for big lines and curl him up. And then I can put my dark green in like this. And I don't want to break that line there, so I'll just smear this in. And so I have my line effect that I didn't smear with my finger. And then this will come in. And then I can put some other plumes in there over that. See how fun? Pastel is my favorite, actually, to use, because even though you make a mistake, you can just make it into part of your masterpiece. And I'm using the black paper in the background as part of my chicken. If you notice, I didn't put it on the whole paper because that's going to add a beautiful effect too. So I'll put some white in here to show the light coming through on the top because the light's shining down from the top and that makes our highlight. So there we go. Okay, and if I want my line effect and I accidentally rubbed it in, I can just go back over. Okay, so there's my plumes. So I'm going to show you the background next. The background, we have our composition off to the side of the paper and we can't leave this plain. It's blah. So let's have some fun. We're artists, right? I'm going to use this little tiny yellow. So I'll have some fun with it. I'll make a line. And then maybe I can do some shading here. Rub, rub, rub. Using my finger, my favorite finger's favorite my favorite thing to use. Then I can do some lines here. Maybe he's sitting on a piece of wood. I'm using my imagination here. And then I'll rub this in a little more, rub, rub, rub. I don't have to use it for the whole page. Remember, my finger will be used to rub it in here. And then maybe the background. On the background, let's do some fun colors. I'm going to use the tip of the chalk here. And then in my background, just make some cool little background pieces. And then maybe I'll put some yellow in there, okay? So Clucky has a background, okay? So that's how you use your chalk pastels. I will show you my finished masterpiece. When you are finished and you have your chalk pieces, you are going to gently just take your page and clean off your masterpiece, okay? Look how easy. Very gentle, very gentle. This is very messy, okay? So there you go. I can't wait to see your creations with chalk pastels.